All right, guys and gals, we're working through the parables that Jesus told in these Bible drills, and we come to Luke, the 14th chapter, where Jesus tells a very fitting parable, considering where he was when he told the parable. In Luke 14, Jesus actually was attending a great feast, and while he was at this great feast with all kinds of important guests, he actually tells a parable about a great feast. And so, in Luke 14, we read the story of the parable of the great banquet or the great feast. Now, Jesus says that a man wanted to host a really great banquet, a big feast where he'd have lots and lots of guests. He'd envisioned having this great banquet with all these important people and all these wonderful guests attending his banquet, and that was his plans to do that. And so, he then sent his servant out to go and invite guests to come. You got to have invitations sent out so that people know when to come and where to come and all of those sorts of things. So he sent the servant out to invite all the people to come. Well, as he went and talked to different people, all these different people made excuses for why they couldn't come. One man, for example, said, well, I've bought a field, and so I need to go take care of my field. Sorry that I can't come to the banquet of your master. Other person said, well, I bought a new cow. I got to tend to my cattle, and I got to take care of them. I really can't come because I got to take care of my cow. Even another person said, well, I got married, and so my wife, I got to go tend to my wife. I got to take care of her. Excuse after excuse after excuse was offered for why people could not come to the banquet. Now, that, of course, infuriates the master. He becomes angry. He becomes very upset. And so what he tells the servant to do is, you know what? If those people don't want to come, I'm not going to allow my banquet to go empty. I want you to go out and invite others. You go out and just get whoever you can to come. And I really don't even care where they come from. Anybody who wants to come, they can come to my banquet. And so the servant went out, and he brought in all kinds of people, and the result was that the master was going to have his house filled with guests by people who would accept his gracious invitation. Do you understand the point that Jesus is making here? Jesus is talking about an invitation. But it's not an invitation to come to a banquet to eat food and to socialize. No, it's an invitation for salvation. In Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30, Jesus said, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." That's the offer that he's making. That's the invitation that he's extending. And the good news is, it's extended to everybody. It doesn't matter who your family is. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter where you come from. Anybody who is willing to come to Christ and is willing to give their lives to Him, what He offers in return is the forgiveness of sins. He offers rest. He offers just wonderful joy, not just in this life, but ultimately joy and rest in the life to come. The question is, are we going to accept Jesus' invitation?